You say I think I'm never wrong. You know what? Maybe you're right. All right? It's a hydration situation where the locker room comes to life and those X's and O's meets those I's and U's. Whoa, let's break this down. But first, go to projecttransition.org. Make sure you educate and empower the underserved by your support and donation. Become a gym member. All right. You say, I think I'm never wrong. You know what? Maybe you're right. We got a little issue to settle between Colin Cowherd and Aaron Rodgers. Now, if you've ever watched Colin Cowherd, you know what I'm talking about. And I ain't going to lie to y'all. We are human beings doing a big job on big platform, right? Everybody's watching. You got followers and subscribers, viewers, etc., right? But you're still a human being. And there are certain people that just, let's say, get under your skin, right? They know the plays to call to get you, and you know which plays to call to get them back. So for me, people will say it's Stephen A. Smith, and it's not. It's more Ryan Clark, but it's only because of one thing in common: race baiting. I hate the race baiters. So anybody that I see that, you know, for the brothers and for the people and all that stuff, once I start hearing that, because I am a brother, I am one of the people, and I don't need you doing that for me. Like, I don't need you pom-pomming. My actions speak louder than your words. That's when I get there. But let's settle the score right here, because Colin Cowherd and Aaron Rodgers, long history of, let's say, shots taken. And as objective as I love to be, I'm human too, and I just saw a human moment. Let's break this down. Aaron Rodgers and Colin Cowherd. There you go.
I've always had this thing with Aaron Rodgers, and fans are like, Colin, it's just you and an Aaron Rodgers thing, and officially today it's not. So the Action Network, I work with the Action Network, my company, The Volume, top-of-the-line people.
Okay, let me get that out the way. You know that Colin started The Volume while still working at Fox, and The Volume is a competitor of Fox in this digital space. It's everywhere. They're trying to get to the digital space. Well, Colin got there first before even Fox got there, FS1. And let me just say, they don't like it. But he got the leverage, especially now because Skip Bayless is gone. Who they going to pay like that? Only Colin. Nick Wright is number 2 in their eyes. Woo, huge gap right there. Just had to break that down. Oh, yeah, and somebody else who gets under. I try to be objective. Carton, the Carton show, not feeling it just yet. Love stink, though.
They polled more than 3,000 football fans in America. And of their many questions, one was, who's the most annoying football player? Aaron Rodgers won by a landslide. 24 of 32 teams, fan bases, named it Aaron. It's never been a me and Aaron thing.
Okay. You know why it is a him and Aaron thing? I'm going to admit it. You know why? Because if you're Colin Cowherd, you're looking through the daily news, as they call it, the hot list, all the topics that everybody's going to talk about. You guys wonder why every show talks about the same stuff? Because they all subscribe to this hot list, right? And it's like all these producers who just graduated college, you know, and they're a little AP trying to move up the ranks. And as they're doing their work, they go to the PAs, and the PAs are like, yo, the Cowboys did this, and, you know, the Yankees and the Lakers, and, you know, Aaron Rodgers. And then all of a sudden, tick, 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 tick. Part of it's your selective perception, like that's what you are looking for, because you know you got something with that person. You don't like the way they do it. You know, you ever hear somebody say, oh, he's great, but I don't like the way he plays. You got something with him, so let Colin talk about it. He'll break it down.
He's exhausting to everybody. But it's easy for me to say that. I have an explanation, and I think it's right, and I've thought this, and I've shared this with people in the NFL.
And you ain't got nothing with him? All I ask is, how many players do you have an explanation for? You've shared it with people, and you've saw it and thought it and said it for years. You're proving your own point, which is my point, which is you're never wrong. Maybe you're right. Get it?
So my theory is that Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning, but around 2010 to 2014, there was a period of time they were all in the GOAT discussion.
Facts.
At that time, it was like Joe Montana was, but it was Brady, Manning, and Aaron Rodgers in the GOAT discussion. And of those three, Aaron was the coolest, and Aaron threw the prettiest ball.
Got to get that. That's real. Remember? Because Brady won his first dynasty, his 3 championships. But people were like, special teams, defense, Belichick. Brady, we saw your numbers. Not really. Then Peyton Manning, who they wanted to give it to from hello, you know, the rookie year, all the interceptions, but he rebounded fast, but just couldn't get over the hump. Tom Brady was in the way. And people were like, you're better, but he's greater. And then there was Aaron Rodgers, who was just pure. You're like, dog, I don't care. What? You know, he had to sit, you know, behind Brett Favre for those years. And then when he got his chance, you're like, woo! And then he won one. You're like, woo! So right then, we didn't know how to deal them cards. Just remember those moments.
By far. Like Manning and Brady were, you know, almost governed by their teams to some degree. But Aaron was, you know, he's the way that ball flies out. He was the cool guy. But then Brady started stacking trophies. He beats Atlanta in that amazing Super Bowl. He beats the Rams. Then he goes to Tampa and wins. So Brady separates from Aaron. And about the same time, so does Manning. He gets to a second Super Bowl. He wins the Super Bowl. Then he goes to a third. And he separates now from Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron keeps score on everything.
I love hearing that. I just don't know how you know that unless you and him got a thing. Like, I want to know. Like, for real. I'm not even trying to poke at Colin. He keeps scoring everything. Don't you – like, if someone talking about me, I know they talking about me. You know, I hate when somebody be like – I hate when people ignore you. Because to ignore is to pay attention. You ever try to ignore somebody? You are mad at Debbie. Debbie didn't do her assignment. And Debbie got all the credit. And you're like, dog, I did that. And she ain't going to give you credit. You mad at Debbie. And then you go to school and you try to ignore Debbie. You know what you got to do? First, you got to know where Debbie is. Then every room you walk into, you got to make sure Debbie's not there. And then when she comes close, you got to make sure she doesn't see you seeing her, but you see her. To ignore is to pay attention. Colin, how you know?
I'll get to that in a second. He keeps score on everything. So in the GOAT discussion, the cool guy, Brady and Manning, separate from him. Suddenly, Aaron, about 2018 to 2021, starts playing really, if you pay attention, safe football. He starts leading the NFL in throwaways. Instead of throwing the ball down the field, he gets very stats protective.
Oh.
And many of you have picked up on this the last 6-7 years with Aaron. He starts leading the NFL in touchdown-interception ratio, but it appears to be like a thing, like it really matters to him. He's obsessed. And if he ever throws like a pick or two in a game, he shuts down.
Wow.
It's not his day. He shuts down. I remember a Tampa game that was like that. He just shuts down.
Interesting.
And he becomes stat-obsessed. And he leads the league in throwing it away by a mile. Instead of throwing the ball down the field, just throws it away. No interceptions.
Stat-obsessed. Like, he was in the GOAT conversation. I think he was obsessed with them stats before this, but I hear you.
So Brady and Manning have separated from him, and he becomes like safe, lead the league in touchdown interception ratio. And if you don't think Aaron Rodgers keeps score on everything and keeps tracking everything, listen to this bite this week after they beat Tennessee.
Okay, give me.
Nobody thought that was Aaron's win. That was the best win in Zach Wilson's career. That's like taking a lot of credit for being the backup quarterback at a Super Bowl and saying, I won a Super Bowl. Aaron keeps track of everything.
Did they not play the clip?
So as Brady and Manning separated, because Aaron did not used to be like this.
Oh.
Aaron was not annoying when he came into the league. That was not who Aaron was. He was cool. He was fun. He was kind of cocky, but he replaced Favre. It was kind of cool. And then Brady and Manning pull away. He becomes stats obsessed, leads the NFL in throwaways.
Okay. I hear you. I wonder. You say I think I'm never wrong. Maybe you're right. The reason I use that quote is because I think it applies here. What do they say in relationships? If you're looking for something and you look hard enough, long enough, you'll find it. And I used to always push back on that. Like, man, nah, man. You can make stuff up, too. And in that process of waiting to find it, you will gather information, misconstrue it, misread it, to get to that place. And I think Colin Cowherd, when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, once he was turned off by Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know that moment. I don't know if it was an avalanche. I don't know if it was an addition of moments that led to that. But there was a moment where it was like, on my radar, Aaron Rodgers, anything he does, please be hypercritical, you know? And that has festered to a point where all you're doing now is collecting evidence to prove you're right. Even when you're wrong, you're right. Right? Because you are looking at a situation from your vantage point. You think Aaron Rodgers is annoying. Fans now have picked up on that because you have been saying this for how many years? 2018? Maybe even longer? I'm not blaming this on Colin Cowherd. I'm showing you the power of our words, the power of our voice, the power of our platform. If you want to move millions, whisper to one. If you want to move millions, you see a big crowd. You don't want to yell at that crowd and say, move. You know what you do? You walk up to one of them and you just say, hey, man, if I were you, I would move over there. Really? Why? Just watch. Watch the dynamic of words. Watch how they interlock. Watch how they move for you. Watch how that power moves people for you. So Colin comes on the show one day, and it's just like, oh, you know, interesting game. Aaron Rodgers, 18 of 22, 3 touchdowns, high touchdown to interception ratio. But, you know, if you watched him in the third quarter, didn't look like he was really into it. If you watched him in the fourth quarter, a little flippant with his offensive coordinator, didn't really give great eye contact. You watch him after the game, didn't really seem like he was giving his teammates props. It adds up. It adds up. It adds up, and you almost are holding your breath to finally, I got a platform that objectively seems to be looking at this and ask a question, who's the most annoying football player? And that sounds like that's an objective question to ask. We're not leading you to answer it to a certain person. You say who you want it to be. But then who could be in an annoying conversation? People who have been termed annoying. So let's forget all the backups in the league, right? So only the 22 starters of every team, 22, 32, 62, that's like 700 players, right? So of a league of 1,800 plus, we already down to 700 because we ain't talking about none of the back. How could a backup be annoying? We don't even know who he is. Nobody talk about him. Then positions. Some positions you don't even talk about, period, in terms of personality. Then, let's just be real. We usually talk about quarterbacks or stars. So we're down to what, 50? And then, how many of them do you like? And no matter what they do, you're just going to say good things about them. C.J. Stroud's in that conversation right now. He earned it. Plus, he's a rookie. Second year now, but we're basing it off of his last year, rookie year. Oh, he's the darling. Oh, my God, when he's mic'd up. Oh, my God, have you seen him when he talks on podcasts? Oh, my God. Yes, 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 yes. And then they turn on you, too. Remember, Aaron Rodgers was a darling behind Brett Favre. And then he was a darling when he got his chance. And then he was a darling when he won that Super Bowl. And he was a darling when he was in the GOAT conversation. And then people say he wasn't a darling because look at him now. It kind of reminds me of former President Trump, how there was a time where everybody seemed to like him despite no one was perfect. And then, you know, all the rappers talking about him, all the rappers wanted to be like him, you know, money meant Trump, you know, lifestyle meant Trump. And then he got into politics, even The Apprentice. Then he got into politics. I hate that fool. It's like, what? I wonder what was Aaron Rodgers' Trump moment, for real. Like when everybody just said, I hate you. I don't think it's because he changed his style of play to be in the GOAT conversation. That's a good theory, but I don't think that's the theory. So beat it up in the comments. Let me know when Aaron Rodgers flipped to y'all. I'm gonna help you guys. I'm gonna chat GPT this for you because maybe not everyone knows. Aaron Rodgers and I had some words before publicly. I actually supported his company. I love some of his investments, so I'll leave it there. Since he was mad at me, I ain't going to hook him up too much and tell you which ones. Here's the thing about Aaron Rodgers. Being smart matters to him a lot. He called me out for breaking down game film of positions I didn't play, specifically quarterback. He's like, what does that DN know about quarterback? All right. I can say the same about you. What you know about playing DN, what you know about any other position. We could have that fun. We could play that game. But it really was just a pissing contest about intelligence. Aaron felt a little threatened by that Ivy League. That's right. That's one of the reasons I went. I ain't got to show you I'm smart. I went to Columbia. And I know because so many people think so highly of it, you can't diss me too much. I could come up here and double negative and stutter my way through all of this. And guess what people going to say? You know Marcellus went to Columbia. You know he's smart. You know he's smart. But if I went to Alabama Tech, A&T-U, and they'd be like, and I did the same thing, they'd be like, damn, he dumb. See that? That's power. So beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you think about this, Colin Cowherd. I think in summation, this is something where be careful what you're looking for. You're going to find it. And even if you're wrong, maybe you're right. All right. All right. Go to projecttransition.org. Make sure you support. Become a gym member and educate and empower the underserved. That's the mission. We got to help everybody. And I'm on that mission to do it in leadership. So make sure you have a beautiful day to go out there to go to the boy. I love you. Boy.